Here we go again with a new episode of Hot Topic. I'm Gary7MT for the GTA series videos crew, and this time we're all about the beta and removed content from Grand Theft Auto 4, right on time for its 10th anniversary. In the previous episodes, we talked about the classic 2D and 3D eras with a special installment focused on all the portable titles and their evolution.
Maybe that's because your whole life you've gotten us into trouble.
Oh, give me a break, man. I've changed.
Now, we're moving forward into what is known as the HD era, starting with Grand Theft Auto 4, a game that sold more than 11 million units in its first month and more than 25 million worldwide across Xbox 360, PS3, and PC to date. To achieve such success, Rockstar spent more than $100 million in development and marketing, pushing the GTA series over every existing boundary and setting new standards in the video game industry. All of this thanks to the new proprietary game engine, the Euphoria physics engine, a profound story with meaningful character development, and the debut of an online mode. Before starting, we gotta send a big thank you to the king of beta hunting, WildBrick142, and to many more including Gypsy the Scumbag, TheTigerBeast, DomoTheRussian, Vadim M, Rented, the Penguin of Doom, Apex Predator, Gtaultimatefanboy, Voggs, Sabelic01, The Cutting Room Floor, and the users at GTA forums and GTA Wikis. Thanks to the many modders and fans who in past years have scoured game files for beta content, creating mods and tools that we're now able to discuss and show, like removed features, audio missions, and more. Another big thank you goes to all the contributors over GTA series Videos Land who've translated subtitles into different languages, allowing viewers in other countries to fully understand and enjoy our videos.
So what I'd like to show you is my new edition.
Officially announced on May 9th, 2006, GTA 4 was released almost 2 years later on April 29th, 2008 for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, while PC gamers had to wait till the end of the year to get their hands on the game. After the announcement, almost a whole year passed before seeing the very first official trailer of GTA 4, which was focused mainly on the city, the real protagonist in every Grand Theft Auto. In an interview with Electronic Gaming Monthly magazine, Sam Houser explained that the logical step after GTA San Andreas was having an enormous map. When the first drawings came in, the map was a full replica of the entire state of New York, countryside included. Not just the city, but the Catskills, Hamptons, Adirondacks, and more. But Houser had a different project in mind.
We really know that we're going to be able to go to the next level in terms of realistic simulations and realistic immersion combined with incredible narrative, incredible storytelling, and those two components combined are what are going to create the experiences of the future.
The idea was to increase the player's experience, but with something new, not just in terms of scale. So the first significant beta content of GTA 4 is the very first map concept, which unfortunately was never shown to the public. But thanks to in-game leftovers and interviews, we do know that some of the absent areas were named Actor and Anger Bay, Frogtown, Jefferson Heights, Norfolk, Richmond, and Washington Heights. Together with the areas known, there were two more called Hedgebury and Gotthard, both names that are still in the game on a road sign on the Broker Dukes Expressway. The Caraways is also a known location removed from the final build of the game, but mentioned more than once.
And when Pop is back in Colombia managing the family's produce importing company, she's out at the Caraways. Fantabulous!
This would have been the Rockstar Games replica of the Hamptons. Thanks to a small texture applied over the telephone directory prop in the game, we can see a pre-release version of the map. The Francis International Airport was bigger and with additional runways. Middle Park was a bit different, and there was also a peninsula in the north area of Alderney with no streets, just nature and dirt roads. Places like the university and the Playboy X apartments were added later. And while talking about the map in the city, we can see that there was once a bridge in Dukes that, hypothetically, connects the Algonquin-Dukes Expressway to the East Borough Bridge. Another big difference was this entrance to Middle Park, removed in the final version. Almost all clothing shops have been renamed. Binko became the Russian shop, Zip became Modo, and Didier Sachs was cut from the game. Various Cluck and Bell fast foods were also removed, with the one in Algonquin available in the game but closed and under renovation due to health code violations. These changes are not limited only to Clucking Bell. In fact, many fast food restaurants were removed or renamed. For example, Rockstar Cafe was renamed Superstar Cafe.
Welcome to Rockstar Cafe. Hey, thanks for coming to Rockstar Cafe.
Well Stacked Pizza was renamed Pizza This. The original company name can still be seen on the uniforms of the employees and is also referenced in some unused audio files.
Pizza Stack, where everything has extra cheese. Can I help you? Hey, thanks for coming to Pizza Stack.
Still, thanks to some cut audio files, we also know that Nico was able to go inside more restaurants and order food. One was Fanny Crabs, still present in the game but inaccessible.
Hi, ready to bite some fanny crabs?
Hey, come on back to Fanny Crabs, you hear?
Another was called Ping.
Welcome to Ping, dog.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bing! You're done! Thanks for pinging me, LOL.
And there were also ice cream vendors around the city.
Get your ice cream. Like to lick? Ice cream.
Whatever the weather, it's ice cream time.
Make her melt with ice cream.
Mr. Fuck's Rice Box, the restaurant featured during the mission Dining Out, was supposed to be 24 hours and always available for players.
Where is Kip? If you play stupid, you're not going to live very long.
Several changes were also made to places and neighborhoods of the city. For example, the original name of Beechwood City was Grayford's, and Outlook Park was Overlook Park. The shop Easy Lay Carpet was named Super Rug Man, and Higgins Heli Tours was called Magnum Heli Tours. And speaking of tours, there was originally supposed to also be a boat tour of the city, but the only thing left of this is the icon for the radar. And about that radar, according to various images, it's changed a lot, from being square with a high transparency gradient to the final round shape we all know. The health bar was first orange in color. Then, in another version, both bars were green, and finally in another screenshot, there are no bars at all. Even the iconic symbol of the city changed name and look. The original name of the Statue of Happiness was the Statue of Freedom.
It's over to the Statue of Freedom. That's some intense shit.
While its face now resembles Hillary Clinton, originally it was to be similar to the real Lady Liberty. The reason the statue now has Mrs. Clinton's face and a cup of coffee in its hand instead of the Flame of Liberty is because of her stance against Rockstar over the infamous and controversial hot coffee mod for GTA San Andreas.
You ladies are much hotter than that bitch. Let's cruise back, Nikki.
Before changing the subject, it's also important to note that left in the final build of the game but disabled as a default are two maps used as test grounds by the developers. The first hidden test map is Anim Viewer, which has a shitload of stairs and platforms to jump on and climb over, as well as lights that can be viewed at night. The second map, named CJ Test, is used as a set for the in-game TV shows, The Men's Room, Ventura's Poker Challenge, and various shop interiors together with a lot of props and different materials. A few pedestrians will also be spawned together with a postman, a unique ped that spawns here and here only because for some reason he wasn't included in the routine of the other peds in the final game. On this map, we can also see lots of telephone poles with rungs on both sides. According to Game Informer, we were able to climb these poles to either reach roofs or to simply see our surroundings better. This is clearly a test map and a place used to see how things work and react with the NPCs, Nico, and the rest of the environment. More can be said about the city, but only as far as street names or simple textures that don't actually change player experience, features, or the general vibe of the game. So let's move on to a more interesting topic, characters. And let's begin with the protagonist of the game.
This is Nico, some drug-dealing fucking degenerate from some armpit in Eastern Europe.
We can see various stages of the development process of Niko Bellic through official artwork, trailers, and screenshots. He was a little younger with slightly longer hair at the beginning to later become older and with another haircut before his look was finalized. And while we're on the subject, there are a couple of images left in the game's data that lead us to believe that originally we were meant to be able to change Nico's haircut in the barbershops we can still see scattered around Liberty City. Colors and the general look of various clothes changed, and some clothing items were even considered beta for a long time, only to be released later as content exclusive for the PC version of the game. What was never released, if not as a PC mod, were the infamous fingerless gloves featured in official pre-release screenshots, artwork, and the PC trailer of the game. But the real beta factor of our Serbian protagonist is not his look or what he's wearing, but something else.
Life is complicated. I'm going to kick your ass!
That works for me.
Despite being voiced by American actor Michael Hollick, Niko was clearly based on the character of Sasha, played by Vladimir Mashkov in the 2001 film Behind Enemy Lines. Rockstar Games has never talked about this. A rumor created by EGM journalist Crispin Boyer stated instead that Rockstar created Niko by taking inspiration from a favorite driver in the company's car service. However, the origins of this character were kinda confirmed by Mashkov himself in a 2010 television interview. Apparently, Rockstar was thrilled to work with him on the creation of a character based on Sasha. They started working together creating the first rendition of Niko, but eventually Mashkov left the project saying that he probably didn't take the job seriously from the very beginning.
Правда ли, что вам предлагали когда-то озвучить игру, видеоигру? Причем герой этой игры был списан с вас внешне? А вы отказались.
Это была странная такая полуаферистическая вещь.
Так.
Я очень рад, что эта игра собрала за месяц $500 миллиона. Это идет разговор о GTA 4.
Да.
То есть это самая продаваемая игра в мире. И они использовали мой образ из картины Джона Мура под названием «В тылу врага». И мне не сказали тогда, что это такое. Может быть, я озвучил, но не знаю. Ну, это интересная часть профессии, но не особенно меня это увлекает.
Но отказались, потому что неинтересно?
Ну, как-то я даже не знал, что это. Я не принял это всерьез.
А то, что
я
мимо
очень
денег
люблю играть.
Не жалко, нет? То, что мимо денег ничего?
Не,
не переживайте.
Я вам так скажу. Вот эти деньги, они все равно ко мне не имели никакого отношения.
This, of course, is according to the actor. We don't know Rockstar's side of the story, and we probably never will know what spurred this decision. Money could be a safe bet, though. Like Niko, other characters have been changed too, but most of them sport minor modifications, mostly focused on clothing. Little Jacob, for example, wore a zebra-striped jacket and no glasses. In early concept art, he also had a different hairstyle and white glasses. Playboy X had a plain maroon hoodie. Real Badman did not wear a hat, and Brucey didn't have tattoos all over his body. Other minor characters changed look. Roman had a slightly different face, and his clothes were different. Michelle too had a different face, more square than round, while in one piece of artwork she appears to be more faithful to her final in-game version. Tom Goldberg, the lawyer based on Jack Thompson that Niko has to kill during an interview, changed look drastically from being fat, bald, and clearly Jewish due to his portrait with a kippah on his head to a more Robert De Niro look.
Guns don't kill people, video games do.
And there are minor things like Kenny Petrovich's model, who was used in the Ballad of Gay Tony for Freaky Van Hardenberg. According to some pre-release artwork and early concepts, Vlad and Roman's girlfriend, Mallory, had different looks compared to their final versions. In the artwork, Elizabetta was initially portrayed thinner, then made a bit thicker. Faustin had a very different face, a bit younger, just like Nico with Nicolas Cage traits. Dimitri was portrayed with different glasses, and Phil Bell had a different look and attire. The missions are what really drive the story, and here we have more interesting insights. Before going to the key points, let's debunk some myths. The biggest, in our opinion, is the beta name that many websites point out for the mission Final Interview, one of the missions used by Rockstar Games to promote the game with the press and showcase gameplay and new features.
It's Nico Bellic. I'm here for an interview.
Come in, I'll buzz you through.
According to some, the mission was named Small Fish in a Big Pond, but we haven't found any evidence to support that. It turned out that Small Fish in a Big Pond was Sam Houser's words to describe Nico's journey in Liberty City in the Game Informer's world-exclusive preview of Grand Theft Auto 4. Other beta info, which ain't exactly beta, revolves around mission settings and weather presets. In some trailers and screenshots, we can see that the mission, It's Your Call, was set at night. The cousins Bellic in the early afternoon. A Revenger's Tragedy is set during a sunny day, while the mission Undertaker took place at night. Lastly, in Eddie Lowe's first encounter, the weather was rainy instead of foggy.
You're a real joker. I knew a joker once. Lovely guy. Came to a rather unfortunate end, though. But I suppose we all do. In the end.
Okay. These things can't be considered beta content because this is something Rockstar Games does constantly in order to have a clearer image to share with the press or different light shadow effects for specific scenes in the trailer. Thanks to proprietary tools, they're able to even place the sun elsewhere just to have the perfect amount of light. Screenshots and files in the game show us instead some minor differences between the beta and the final game, one of which was a higher number of criminals to apprehend in the most wanted missions. There was a mission called High-End Assassin, which supposedly was turned into the side activity High-End Assassination, consisting of 9 different assassination missions ordered by the Fixer.
Hey, you got any work for me?
I have a client with a problem.
A certain dropped mission, American Dream, is probably tied to Roman. In the third official trailer of the game, there's a scene that might have been taken from this cut mission. In the scene, we see Nico and Roman with 2 NPCs on a boat trying to escape the police. Another moment removed from the game can be seen in a screenshot released by Rockstar in which we see Nico blowing up a limo in a police convoy using an RPG. Thanks to some code strings, images, and audio files, we also know that in the game there was supposed to be another bank called Topps Bank, created by Gail Bertram, and a jewelry store, both with interiors and decorations. These may have been the setting for some cut missions. There's also a removed mission called Eye and High, clearly tied to Little Jacob. And while we on Jacob's case, the mission Concrete Jungle was named originally Jacob's Ladder.
Sure, I promise I'll comfort to a fool on Nico. A boy for creep before him can walk, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes artwork, despite not being always tied to game events, takes inspiration from missions. Thanks to some, we're able to see moments which were possible originally in the game, like this one, in which we can see the noose shooting at a man, clearly Phil Bell, inside a warehouse, probably an alternate version of the mission To Live and Die in Alderney. In this shot, we can see Nico ambushing a couple of men inside a hangar intent on opening some crates. Some artwork shows 2 events impossible in the final game, events that could have been instead brilliant moments to remember. In the first, we can see Nico hanging out of a helicopter shooting at an enemy. In the other, our main character is fistfighting with someone inside the cabin of a Skycar, the aerial tramway that connects Algonquin to Colony Island. Other artwork instead hints at a different ending to the mission Uncle Vlad. In the artwork, we can see Nico and Roman disposing of a body shrouded in a carpet into a dumpster. Something else entirely is hinted at by an image that shows Nico recovering an Infernus inside a container. Considering that the Infernus is the holy grail of vehicles in GTA 4, this image could show a different way to export vehicles for Stevie, or instead an alternate way to recover Bryce's Infernus, thanks to Florian.
Thank you, Bryce Dawkins. I hope the cash for this didn't come out of city funds.
Another mission that changed a little is Pest Control, in which the player was supposed to choose whether to kill two different targets, just like in the Holland play. But this choice, for some unknown reason, was removed. The mission Hung Out to Dry has a couple more lines of dialogue that weren't used in the final version of the game. The first exchange is between Nico and a shop owner. The owner is supposed to talk to Nico before fleeing.
I have a message from Vlad.
Shit! Stay away from me!
I have a message from Vlad.
Fuck you! I call police! They'll show you!
You better hope the police get here real quick!
America is land of free! Leave me alone! In Russia I get protection, not here!
The second instead is between Nico and Vlad in a phone call that starts if the laundromat's owner dies. Considering the tone and the words, it's plausible that originally the mission would have been considered complete even if the player killed the guy.
Vlad, the Muscovite ain't around no more.
I hope you didn't kill him. I hope you choked on some detergent or something, stupid peasant. Think about it. That man can't pay me money. Now your cousin's going to have to owe me for this as well.
Vlad, the Muscovite ain't around no more.
I hope you didn't kill him. I hope you choked on some detergent or something. Fuck it. This is a lesson to every other fuckhead who thinks he's too clever to pay me.
Who could be too clever for you, Vlad?
Some more differences were in the mission Rough Rider, in which we had to find Dwayne's ex-girlfriend, Bernice, renamed Sherry's in the final game, inside the arcade. Once the girl was found, things don't go as expected, and we have to use our gun to shoot our way out of the arcade, killing the thugs and bringing the girl back to Dwayne. In the final version, we only have to chase Charissa's new boyfriend, Javon, and recover some money. A mission that instead changed a lot during development is Bull in a China Shop. While in the final version, Nico only has to break the shop's window, in the original version, our character was supposed to go inside the China shop.
Hello! You got some nice stuff in here.
Big Vlad and his protection money? I so scared. What I need protection from?
From people like me. Seems careless to not be paying Vlad his protection money.
After the first dialogue, Nico had to get equipped with the baseball bat and use it to smash vases until the shopkeeper eventually gives up.
Stupid man, you're wasting your time! Smash, smash, smash! You're boring me! Your arm's starting to hurt already? I get tired just watching you. Okay, this is not so funny no more.
According to some objectives, Nico could also beat the guy up and or his son. With the protection money collected, Nico meets up with Vlad, who berates Nico and gives him a bottle of vodka to give to the shop's owner as an apology gift.
What are you doing, hurting my friends, yokel? You trying to make me mad?
I did what you said. I got your money.
You are deaf as well as stupid. That's good to know, yokel. I said scare him, don't hurt him. That means don't fucking hurt him, alright? Hear me now?
I can smell you too.
Take this bottle of Cherenkov, say you're sorry, and you won't do it again.
Fine!
After getting back to the shopkeeper, players can give or keep the bottle of vodka for themselves, but the latter choice causes a mission fail.
Hey, don't hurt me! Vlad say you too stupid to understand his orders.
For the record, I don't take orders from Vlad. I'm just doing a favor for my cousin. I will give you a bottle of vodka now to apologize for what I did. But know that there is nothing stopping me from coming back here and smashing it in your face. I gave him the vodka.
You kissed and made up. That's sweet. If you give a shit about your petty cousin's death, then I've got some work for you. Come to the bar.
You know what, Vlad? I wanted that vodka all to myself, so I got rid of the shop owner. I hope you don't mind.
You pathetic half-wit. What if I decide to get rid of your cousin when I next pay him a visit? Chip shit!
If for all these missions we have some leftover details and the like to back up their feasibility and our credibility, for the next one, all we have is speculation based on a single picture.
Nico, you pick up. It's been a time since we spoke. We should go and get drunk together.
I'm sorry, cousin, but I must keep my senses sharp at the moment.
All right, Nico. Maybe we do something when you have some free time.
The mission is 3-Leaf Clover, the bank heist of GTA 4. In this screenshot, we can see Patrick, Derek, and Nico in front of a secure car, set on fire by some Molotovs thrown by Nico. Some say this scenario was an alternative way to end the heist, but this could be, and most probably is, just a staged scene by Rockstar Games to promote the game and its features. Another difference is in the cutscene of Roman's wedding if the player chooses to go for the money. In the final version, if you go for this ending, Kate McCreary will decide to not attend the ceremony. In the game's data, we see instead she was apparently supposed to be there at some stage of the development process. This can be said thanks to Open 4 and the possibility of moving the camera during the cutscene. We can see Kate hidden under the ground, moving, interacting, and reacting to the tragedy of the scene.
Yes? The gift from DomoTheRussian.
Oh my God!
And before closing the mission segment, allow us to speak on a widely promoted new feature of Grand Theft Auto 4 heavily connected to missions: the cell phone. According to a string of code, Nico was originally to be able to order a new phone from Tinkle's website in the game. This feature was dropped later, probably considering that Nico could receive 2 cell phones. The first from Roman near the beginning of the story, and the second from Playboy X after unlocking Algonquin.
Here, take this, head down there, take a photo, send it to me, I'll point out which one of them motherfuckers it is.
Fine. The original model of the phone was also larger and with a 2-tone gray color. According to the first ever preview of the game published by Game Informer, there were 3 options in his contact list: City Contact, Doc's Friend, and Cab Contact. The latter is surely Roman's taxi service. The other 2 are possibly Francis McCreary and Brucey Kibbutz. The reason why these 3 contacts were listed with generic names at that time is probably to avoid giving too many details to journalists that attended preview events.
Hey, strange seeing you here, Officer McCreary.
I told you to come here, fucking maggot.
You did?
Originally, the phone was also to have more features and functions than what it ended up with. In the game files, we can see the model of a fully digital camera, which was supposed to be used by the player. Developers also considered possibly having an in-game music app to let the players choose which music they wanted to hear, even when on foot, thanks to a built-in MP3 player, but these ideas were later scrapped. Still talking tools, let's move on to weapons. Some were shown in various screenshots and then removed from the game, like the revolver, or the silenced 9mm, which would have been an interesting addition to the game together with some stealth mechanics. Thanks to these same codes, we also know that the nightstick, Q-stick, flamethrower, minigun, and some kind of explosive were originally planned but later removed by Rockstar to give a better sense of realism to the game. Other changes include the color of the pickups, changed to orange while at some point were yellow. The baseball bat material, originally wood but in the final game was aluminum. The combat shotgun model changed from the Spas 12 to the Remington 1100. The AK-47 replaced the Zastava M70, among other changes. The police were supposed to be armed with nightsticks, and there are a lot of unused lines related to its use.
You know where a nightstick goes?
I'm gonna break the stick off in you.
Don't make me use my nightstick on your head.
I got 15 inches for you to suck on.
Still, related to the weapons more or less are the armor vests that originally could only be worn by Nico. This is still possible by using a trainer on the PC version of the game. Vehicles changed, evolved, and got cut too. A lot of these changes can be seen thanks to the footage available in the television shows in the game. The biggest cut of all involved the flyable planes that apparently were okay with the original concept of a wide state, but were later scrapped because the map was too small to justify their presence and use. Another big content cut is the ferry that was supposed to transport the player from Alderney to Happiness Island. The ferry model can be seen in the first official trailer and in a TV show. The coach bus didn't make the cut either. Neither did a Boxville used by the Noose, an unnamed SUV, a tow truck, an airplane, and a boat. Files left in the game also point out other deleted vehicles: the Dodo, Andromeda, SWAT, Previan, Majestic, Buffalo, Elegant, and a jet called Fighter. The jet also led to the assumption that at some very early stage of the development process, soldiers were supposed to be in the game. But while many vehicles were cut, some were just changed. Some aspects changed on each and every vehicle were license plates. These were originally intended to have random combinations of letters and numbers on them, like the ones we see on trailers in the game. This feature was dropped due to development issues, leaving the plates blank for some time to later have the name of the city written on every single one in the final game. The Annihilator had a different paint job, while the Maverick had only 2 blades on the main rotor. The Banshee's paint job featured 2 stripes instead of 1. The Infernus's headlights were originally painted the same color as the car instead of being carbon fiber. The Sabre GT had a pair of speakers on the parcel shelf. The Super GT brand was acetone. It had badges in the back, and the brake calipers were red, while the Turismo had a different badge and rims with a second air duct over the back wheels. The Freeway was called the Bobber. The Contender was the E109, and Roman's Taxi was originally called the Albany. And while we're talking about Roman's Taxi, according to the model names of Roman's Depot, the business was originally supposed to use limos, and that would probably explain this scene where we see Nico in a stretch with a guest at his side.
Good riddance, dog lover!
Various game features got changed or removed. For starters, thanks to a couple of renders, we can see that the manual destination icon was the same used in GTA San Andreas. Snow was supposed to be in the game, according to some raw lines of code that managed pedestrian behavior. Also, according to IGN's review of GTA 4 and the screenshot shown on the page, Nico used to have the ability to bring home a high-priced call girl. And maybe, but this is just a guess, girlfriends.
Are you going to invite me in? For a coffee, I mean.
I shouldn't, but I like you.
Great. Hey, listen, I respect you.
Other minor removed features include a fully functional city bus service that was available for Nico to use, something that popped up in an international preview of the game, then was confirmed by leftover code. We only have a scene available in the first official trailer of the game to know the game was supposed to feature female police officers. Why it ended up having only male officers is another enigma. And before we ditch the cops, so to speak, it seems the Good Citizen bonus was initially part of the game like in GTA Vice City and Liberty City Stories, and that this bonus somehow affected general gameplay. Again, why it was removed is unknown.
Get that little shit! We need more people like you, man. Thanks.
Other small changes are the bailing out from a moving vehicle animation and various removed liveries for the pony that featured company ads. Again, alongside hundreds of small details that don't much change the game or how it's played, but there were actually 3 big removed features of the game. The smallest is the car modification to be brought in from GTA San Andreas. However, this was put on hold because it wouldn't feel natural for a character like Nico to be into auto racing and mods. Racing is still a thing, but its strong ties are to Brucey Kibitz, a character actually interested in racing.
We're winners, man! Fucking winners! That's how we roll, brother! Bling, check!
Bodies, check. Paper, check. That's how we roll, bitches. The boss.
Are you alright? Too much bullshark testosterone up the ass?
Fuck you, man.
Still from GTA San Andreas, thanks to some audio files, we can also presume that Nico would throw up after eating too much.
Take that supermodel shit outside.
That is fucking gross.
No more for you, Sir Puke-a-Lot.
You're not a supermodel, you know. Look, at least I do that in private.
Dude, you just harshed on the floor.
Another thing that was removed is what appears to be a zombie and space minigame. It's unknown if these two were supposed to be multiplayer game modes or minigames to play in the same way you can play Armies of the Night and the Warriors. Nothing is known about the space minigame except for some textures for the radar, spaceship, and missiles. This could have been a multiplayer game mode or an arcade game like Cubit, maybe Go-Go Space Monkey, or even a pinball cabinet. And we do actually have an unused animation for playing pinball inside the game files, but this is surely just us overthinking shit. A lot more we do have and know about Z Resurrection. In GTA 4, this is a title for both a horror movie and a video game advertised on the subways and on some billboards around the city. While not much is known about the movie, the in-game magazine Single Player states that Z Resurrection is possibly the best zombie game ever. The leftovers of this minigame include icons of weapons, ammo, health and grenade pickups, scratches, and blood. Why they cut this minigame, how it looked, or what roles players could inhabit, zombie or human, sadly is unknown. Cause that would have been some fun shit. Both minigames, by the way, could even be video games Nico was supposed to be able to play with Brucey, Roman, and others, probably as friend activities. This too got left out of the game, but the audio files connected to it remain along with some animations.
Wanna forget the real world and do some gaming?
Sure, I'll do some gaming, NB. Just don't tell anybody. I'll wait for you at my crib for an hour, alright? Wanna play some video games, bro?
Sorry, Brucey. I'm not in the gaming mood.
This game was made by sick weirdos at shit. You think you can beat me at video games? Did you just shoot me? You always work good with a joystick. I don't know what kind of freaks made this game, but I love them all.
The biggest feature of which we only have audio files is something related to the ability to buy drugs. There are two sets of audio files with Nico saying stuff like this.
Give me whatever you got. Come on, sort me out. You look like you've got what I need. Come on, I'm not a cop. Quick, let's do this. Come on, hook me up.
Unfortunately, there's really nothing else left over, so we don't actually know if the idea behind these lines was to give players the ability to buy and use drugs like they did somehow in GTA 5. Or if this was an early attempt at adding something to the game that they later added only in GTA Chinatown Wars. A fully functional drug market and economy in which the player can buy and sell drugs for profit. Last, but no less important, are the unused music and some beta names of the radio stations in the game. The list is pretty long, from a couple of songs by the Rolling Stones to Gwen Stefani's Holla Back Girl to Get Up, Stand Up by Bob Marley and the Wailers, which was clearly supposed to be heard on Tough Gong Radio, originally called Babylon. While this radio station only changed its name, another was instead completely removed, and that's Head Radio. While there's undoubtedly more we don't know, details we chose to omit because of their difficulty to show or simply near irrelevance, that's pretty much it, boppers. What is certain is how Grand Theft Auto 4 reshaped the GTA franchise in a way that no other game in the series has been able to replicate. Nico began as one person only to later evolve into somebody else, but still extremely enjoyable for the player. Though significant content has been removed or disabled, what remained was the sheer pleasure of doing dirt for dough. And just know that Hot Topic ain't gonna stop, and writers, that's a promise you can put your foot on. Coming soon is part 2, which focuses on the 2 DLCs known as The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony. Be sure to check this channel for all the updates about Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption 2, and more. Keep following us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, or jump in our Discord server to talk with other Rockstar Games fans. From GTA series videos, this was Gary7MT saying, peace out.